Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to episode 2 of the Realist Optimist World podcast. My name is Akila, and I'm here with my co host, Umaira. This is the Realist Optimist World podcast. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us again in our second episode of this brand new podcast that we just started. And we really cannot thank you enough for your time, for tuning in. And I understand how precious your time is. And it's really it's such an honor, and we're so blessed for you to actually sit here and listen to us wherever you are. Maybe you're commuting to work or in a car, in a bus, in a train, and so on. So today we are going to be talking about starting a business, and it's quite an interesting topic because we're trying to keep it to something really bite-sized, under 30 minutes, but I'm pretty sure there's just going to be a lot of things to cover. And of course, we are always welcoming your comments and your questions and so on. You can always hit us up on Instagram and Facebook, the Realist Optimist World. And we do want to hear what is it that you really want to hear from us. And I hope this will bring you as much value as we possibly can. So starting a business is always something straight right in my heart, especially because starting a business for me is not just about starting a business. I think I have been through a huge amount of evolution. I think evolution. See, Myra is such a blessing. So she also teaches me English. Enunciation. So, especially because I've been through stages of evolution when it comes to business and starting one and now running one and opening up new businesses in the future and so on. So, let's dive right into it. So, I guess really, why did we actually start a business?
I don't know. When I was younger, I always wanted to invent something. I've never thought of running a business lah. I'm more of like the kind of person who wants to start something that can improve people's life. Like, I don't know, something that's not invented yet.
Yeah.
Like, being able to lie down and earn money.
Wow.
Technically there is such a thing where
Yeah.
you lie down and earn money.
Yeah, I mean like a passive income.
Yeah. Like you don't really have to work because I'm lazy, right?
Yeah.
So I just wanna lie down and earn money lah.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm sure. And that's one really awesome stuff about Myra is that she's super straightforward, and I think that is one thing that she's really good at. And wanting to sleep and then earn money is definitely a dream for a lot of people, and that's awesome. So I guess would that be a reason for you to start a business?
Obviously, like everybody wants to be like Steve Jobs or like Mark Zuckerberg. They don't see the grind.
Yeah.
The grunt work also.
For sure.
People think it's all glamorous, right?
Yeah.
But once you're in it, you're like, oh my god, what did I get myself into?
Oh my god, tell me about it.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
it's very satisfying.
Yeah.
It's different because I guess at the end of the day, I don't like to be told what to do.
That is a huge make or break kind of thing, isn't it?
Why?
Like, at which point did you actually notice that you do not actually like being told what to do?
I think I kind of, since young lah, since young, I never, like when you tell me to do something, I would definitely not do it.
Yeah.
But if you don't tell me, I would do it,
Yeah.
It's that kind of rebellion.
Yeah.
But I guess I realized it as I age.
Yeah.
That like I can't work for people because maybe we are not in line with the way we want to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stuff like that. So I kind of realized that I want to do things that I say go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'd rather take your own initiative to do something instead
Yeah.
of being told what to do. Am I right?
Yeah, and then because coming from I mean, that's why I normally work for like startups or like SMEs, so it's a bit more flexible.
Yeah.
But recently, like, you know, I work in a corporation,
Yeah.
so it's tough. You know, like your ideas just kind of get lost in waves of, I don't know, like it never reach the top lah. Basically, you know, you give a solution, you give something, but then you take like 2 years and then suddenly pop up again like, hey, wait, didn't you say, you know? But then I'm like gone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
when did I say this? You know, like by the time like my thinking also have like matured, and I'm like, no, this doesn't work anymore. You know, yeah. So I need fast pace. You know, I need things to always be changing.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. So I kind of like that speed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess it's and that would probably be the reason why you start a business, because it's kind of hard to find the right place with, you know, the right amount of being told what to do and then the right amount of speed. So you decided that, you know what, I'm just gonna start something on my own.
Because like, you know, having a business is always changing, right? You're always changing to the demographic. You're always changing to the needs of people.
For sure,
You know, your business is never gonna be just like, I'm gonna serve prata today and that's it.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure, yeah.
You're always catering to what's best suited. Yeah.
Especially, I mean, just, you know, recently, right, with the whole pandemic thing. I mean, last year, and we just had to, like, you know, change suit with a lot of things that goes on in our own business as well. So that in itself gives you a lot of pleasure, I feel.
Yeah, I did. I was like, ooh, what can I do? Ooh, what can I do? But of course, like, you know, I want to do things, but I still need the resources to do it. I can't do everything on my own, you know. I still need to depend on third party and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, then again, that is like the pitfall of a lot of things, you know.
For sure. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think being able to know that you might not be able to be told what to do, or some people actually know someone who told me that, you know, I from a very young age he cannot be told what to do when it comes to work. Like, he has held a lot of part-time jobs, but in those part-time jobs he find himself negotiating a lot with his bosses and superiors and stuff. And then he decided one day, like, you know what, I'm just gonna start something on my own. You know, I started freelancing and so on. So I feel like being able to know and be aware of that thing inside you, that you know that you can't be in that situation, really is a huge drive to why you would want to start a business. And that's perfect. I feel for me, the reason why I want to start a business is because I feel like it's the only way I can impact the most amount of people under my own terms. And again, you know, like, not being told what to do, or I've held jobs in the past where I can only serve, you know, a certain group of people. I can only do a certain thing their way, and I feel like it limits me from doing what I love to do the most, which is to help others. And that's the reason why I feel like, okay, I need to go on it my own way. But why I mentioned that, you know, it's sort of like an evolution kind of thing for me, is because I didn't actually start a business with that whole mindset in me that, ooh, I'm gonna make this a business. I feel like me stepping out from corporate world, from working for other people, has always been something like, because I do want to help more people based on my own terms. So I feel like that kind of evolved into, wow, I am here sitting right here recording this podcast with a business that is running behind me, which is
Still trying to impact more people, right?
And still trying to impact more people. So I think being able to know that you might want to start a business at the very beginning, at a very young age, maybe, for any reason, really. I mean, it's so important, because I think starting a business, you kind of need to know what your intentions are, what your purpose is. You know, why do you want to start a business? Because
some people just want to start business because they think that's the best way to make money, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of people have different intentions, and I feel like there's no right or wrong when it comes to this. But I think one thing that people really have to know is that, you know, when you start a business, it's not just going to be beautiful. It's not going to just be ups and downs. And And Myra and I, we put out fires every single day. I think I like to put it that way because it's really like there will always be a crisis every single day, and then we decide that, oh my gosh, we actually have to deal with it. And that's really our job. Like, our job is to really help our employees, our staff, be the best versions of themselves. I think that's one. And then secondly is really to put off any kind of fire that comes in from that purpose and intention that we set out to doing. So, and I guess when it comes to starting a business, there are people who do not actually want to start a business, and they are actually okay with being just a salaried worker. And I'm not sure how that actually feels. Have you ever been in that position?
I mean, my parents think that, a normal life, would I say a normal life is to just work. Even like, when I was working as a salaried worker, even though it was operations work, so it's very erratic hours and everything, to them that's not normal.
Yeah.
Normal is 9 to 5, sitting at a desk in an office with a drawer.
Yeah.
That is normal.
Yeah.
And I always tell them that, but that doesn't give me fulfillment. I need to move around. I don't like to be seated for 8 hours doing something, just staring at the screen. I need to move around. That's why I work in operations.
Yeah.
Then I can move around, I can travel, like do, stuff like that. Then I realized that, oh, that's not enough for me.
Yeah.
Like there's always something else, like, oh, I guess it's part of like personal growth as well. There's, you reach a ceiling and then you realize that, oh, there's only so much moving around you can do. Then you always want to try and achieve more. Yeah, but coming from my background, it's normal to have a job.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they will tell you that, like, oh, why do you want to start a business? Like, why, like, all these risks, who's going to pay you? How are you going to pay this? How are you going to pay that? But then, you remember that article we read? Oh, it's fine when you have like a car with like loans. People don't see the...
Yeah, I actually like that quote. I think I'll try and pull it out and probably put it into the show notes of this episode as well, about how it goes something like this. If I'm not wrong, it's like people actually ask you why you're investing thousands of dollars into your business, but it's completely okay to get gadgets or cars, which is thousands of dollars, but doesn't give you any kind of return out of it. And I feel like that's where our society is flawed, right? Like, it's flawed in a sense where people are okay spending money on things that doesn't give them any kind of returns, but it's not okay putting in time and money into a business which has potential to grow, not just monetarily, but to impact the society.
I guess like, like maybe when your business is like Apple, and then people, they will be like, yeah, like my daughter is the owner of Apple.
Ooh.
Only that part, when it's all rainbows and butterflies, and then they will want to take credit,
Oh my
but when
gosh.
it's like nothing, no one have heard of like one habit, let's say, nobody want to say like, oh yeah, my daughter owns a gym, whatever. But that's the thing, right? It's like status. I think it's a status thing. Like, you drive a Honda. If you come from a family with no cars, you drive a Honda, it's like, my daughter drives a Honda.
Yeah.
But then you come from a family with who drives, and then your daughter drives a Lamborghini, you'll be like, my daughter drives a Lamborghini. It's always like having to be better than people, which I don't like. Why do we need to compete with people? We should just compete with ourselves.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. Yeah, I think that's where society, I feel, is kind of flawed in that way. And again, I mean, some people do like just being a salary worker, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's definitely something. I feel like I'm a huge proponent of just doing something because it makes you happy, and not because someone else is telling you. But if you're here sitting listening to this and you are actually not happy and legitimately not happy with your day job, but you're not quitting for whatever reason that might be stopping you, I feel like it's something that you probably will need to think about. And that is one of the things, right? Because I feel like, I mean, I'm not sure about you, Myra, but like, I guess for me, when I first started out wanting to just do things on my own, my parents were worried. They were, but they weren't completely unsupportive of it, you know.
But then because your parents like also have like their side gigs, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they were like
For
in
sure.
that same path.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And I think this is something that we can definitely cover on in another episode, is that we definitely come from very different family backgrounds, right? And because my parents, or my dad at least, have always been in business, so he used to run his own ambulance business, and then now he's running a tour business in Sydney. I feel like the reason why I am placed in this situation right now is because I have that support from my parents, who allowed me to sort of explore and do whatever I like because it makes me happy. So I think at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with starting a business. There's nothing wrong with being a salaried worker, as long as it makes you happy. And this is what people, we're not here trying to say that, oh, you have a day job, it sucks. It's not that at all. Like, we don't think of it that way. If you have a day job, you're super happy with what you're doing, you are awesome. Okay, but who we're really reaching out is that if you have a day job but you really do not like your job and you're dragging your feet every single day, I feel like that's something that you might want to consider doing or exploring. Not just just starting a business right out the bat. Again, like I said, I didn't actually just start a business. I evolved over the years from doing something that I truly like, from wanting to help others, and then it suddenly became like a business behind me right now. But it's really about, just finding that kind of fulfillment that you have in your life.
I mean, yeah, you don't have to drop everything. You don't have to quit your job. If you're not sure, you can always start something small on the side. And then see how it goes. Like me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What kind of fulfillment does running your own business give you, Myra?
I think it's like I said, like fixing things. Like the previous episode where I said that I like fixing things. I like the flexibility where I can impose things because I want to.
Yeah.
Or I feel like it's better.
Yeah.
Without someone telling me like, no, this doesn't work. I mean, yeah, sometimes you tell me like, no, it doesn't work, but then I will reason it out with you, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, you know what, let's try, because you're the optimist, right?
Yeah.
So it's easier to talk to you than to have to go through like a layer of like, I don't know, middle managers, top management, and then after that it's just go unheard lah.
Yeah.
And I think like because I like to learn new things, I like to try and build things on my own. Like I'm only like a foot away from learning how to code myself, guys, because I can't stand waiting for.
She is actually going to learn how to code. I think 2021 would be the year where Myra is going to turn into a coder. I'm not actually surprised with that. I mean, she has been doing a lot of things that is a surprise, like, starting a podcast. What is that? So, yeah, I think she's going to be learning how to code this year.
Yeah, maybe. If I have time.
I guess, when it comes to fulfillment for me, starting a business, running a business, really, I guess it, again, like I said, it just goes back to the whole, like, being able to impact a lot of people. And I think we are at this point where when we help one person, that other person will sort of be happy, be optimistic, be very positive about the changes that they feel in their body. And then it passes on to different groups of people. I feel like that kind of fulfillment is it's so inordinary. It feels like it's special. I feel like that kind of fulfillment is really great. I'd say, we will definitely talk about money one day, right? We will. Like, to be honest, we are not in a situation where our business are making millions of dollars at this point. Of course, we always do want to wish for that to happen, but it's not a priority because it's really something that we want it to happen. But we're not in that position at this point. Although the fulfillment that having a little bit more financial freedom to be able to do what you love to do most, or things that matters to you most, being able to perhaps, send my grandma to the hospital whenever I want, instead of being stuck in a job where I can't be taking any more leave because I ran out of leave, or having a boss that doesn't really understand your situation, your family situation. I feel that kind of fulfillment, the freedom that I am able to do whatever I want on my own terms is the most fulfilling thing about running my own business. And a lot of people really, I think in this day and age, with whatever happened in 2020 as well, with the pandemic, all the more it's so important to be spending a lot more time with people who matters to you, people who makes you happy, your family, your loved ones, your friends. And I feel like that is one thing that running my own business is able to help me achieve that in that sort of purpose. Yeah.
For sure. But what do you talk about the challenges? We're making it sound like, running a business is all fun,
Oh,
let's talk about the unfun part. Eh?
the unfun part.
A lot, guys. A lot.
Oh my gosh. Okay, where do we even begin? Okay,
I don't know.
I think.
Maybe like the sleepless nights.
Oh man. Okay, so I guess where we are right now as well, it's kind of crazy because we just took a leap of faith late last year, maybe in October last year. Myra and I decided that we kind of need to move to a bigger space because our clients are not they're not having a conducive environment to train in, and we feel like we should give them the best. They deserve so much. Our community deserves so much. And so we took a leap of faith of moving from a very small little studio up at Bussorah Street, and then we moved right into North Bridge Road. I mean, it's not bigger per se, but it has a lot more room for different aspects of our business, which means that we have a separate room for our group classes, we have a separate room for personal training, we also have a separate room for our staff where they can hang out, chill, do work. We have a separate room for our recovery,
podcast.
mobility, and this podcast that you're listening, a much better pantry as well. So I feel like that leap of faith obviously came with lots of financial obligations. We were at a situation where we're sort of like in the in-between. Like we were like, okay, we were making comfortable money, which can actually pay for a lot of things, like our staff, first and foremost, rent and all our operational expenses. But we kind of weren't sure whether or not moving is gonna be great for us financially, or it's not gonna help us financially. We're probably just gonna go broke and turn this whole thing down. So we weren't sure, but I think one of the challenges of running a business is obviously not having the certainty. You won't have anyone right there with you saying that, hey, don't worry, we've got you covered. It's not like that, especially when you're running a small business where everything is bootstrapped. We're self-funded, and there isn't like huge like VCs coming after you and giving you millions of dollars like how they say it in startups and in what Shark Tank. It's not like that. It's
not like that at all.
It's so I think it's so flawed in that way where people just think of it like, oh, you run a business, you have millions of dollars in your bank account. It's definitely not like that. I think we made a huge calculated risk in October last year to move from a small studio to a larger studio so that our clients and our community can actually feel much more comfortable training in and going through a whole body transformation and so on, that it does give us a lot of sleepless nights.
Yeah, till this day, right?
Yeah, till this day, of course. I think one of the biggest struggle or challenge of running a business is because you don't actually have the certainty, especially being so young. I mean, our business, the company has only been about 3 years, since 3.5 years since incorporation. So we're still a baby, to be honest. I mean, we're not saying that we are so established and so on, but it's definitely scary when you wake up every single day thinking whether or not you have enough to sort of pay rent, pay your staff, and we have like what, eight people on a payroll right now. It's very small, but again, we're not a huge company making millions of dollars. It's really about using every single cent that comes into our pocket right back into the business, and that has caused a lot of sleepless nights. And that's one thing that people need to know, is that there is going to be a lot of sacrifices when you start a business.
Yep.
And I won't say that it's no, you should not start a business. You're just not going to be sleeping well. You're gonna do, you won't
Just
be,
gonna cry at
you're
night.
gonna cry at night, anxiety and so on. No, of course not. I mean, but I think we do want to be as real as we can in a sense where it's of course going to be difficult, especially in the beginning where things are a little bit more turbulent, and volatile, and you don't really know if you might even make it that month.
I mean, we still don't know whether we're gonna make it.
No, of course, and
it's you can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
When another pandemic hits, no one
sure.
has that foresight.
Yeah.
No one does.
Definitely. And I think that is the whole challenge of running a business or starting a business, is really not being able to know whether or not you're safe, whether or not you're going to even have the company in months' time and so on. But that being said, I mean, that's a huge challenge. We probably will run through a lot more challenges in the future. But
I think we're still blessed that we can do that. We can do this still.
Yeah.
Like, people think that
Yeah.
we are doing so well that we moved and stuff. But
yeah.
remember, I mean, we just want to say that we're just upgrading, guys. We're not expanding.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's also another thing where people think that, just because you move to a bigger location, you're doing a lot better. And I feel like this is a stigma that we have to stop. Society has to stop believing in that, because for us, it's really about giving back. The reason why we moved to a more comfortable location is because we are giving it back to our clients who's always been behind us over the last 3.5 years. So I feel like they deserve it. But that doesn't mean that we are doing, well, or we're just happy helping a lot of people out. And in that sense, I am a whole huge believer that the more you give, the more you get back. And I am thankful. I think I wouldn't have it any other way. I probably wouldn't be doing anything else apart from running my own thing, to be honest. So I feel like I'm blessed. I think we are blessed.
Yep.
I guess as we move along, starting a business, there is definitely a lot of challenges. It's definitely something that we have thought about in the past about, I mean, I've been running a business for about, I guess, in totality, I mean, this is my 5th year running a business. So it's definitely something that I think of. But it is definitely a challenge, but we wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, for sure. I think we enjoy what we're doing. We love that we get to impact a lot more people with our own thing. And I cannot thank our clients and community enough for just being themselves every single day, day in and day out. So, yeah.
Yeah. And, guys, just reach out to us if you need someone to talk to, when you're caught in a crossroad or whatever. I mean, we might not know all the answers. We might not have all the answers, but we are happy to kind of just hear you out,
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. So again, hit us up. I mean, if you've listened to us in our 2nd episode this far, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, and do hit us up on Instagram at Realist Optimist World, and we would love to hear what you think of, what you'd like to see more of, and we will be back with episode number 3. We're here for you guys.
Bye, guys.